Hey, what's up, y'all? So I just wanted to make this video and talk about something pretty cool. So I used AI to write a book, and I know a lot of people might not like that. A lot of people just are pretty against AI in general. I personally think AI can be extremely useful for many different things. Um, but yeah, not to waste your time here, we'll just get directly into it. And let me just remove my face here. Uh, Oh, hold up. Oh, sorry. Sorry. All right, there we go. That'll work. All right, so let me just go ahead and show you guys. So this is the book called Bastion of Ash. It's a lit RPG. You can see it shows my name. Uh, it's got a little description on the back, and it's a pretty hefty book. It's all there. It's a very heavy book. There's um about 780 pages. So I'm actually currently reading it now. Before I go any further, let me just tell you, I'm not trying to sell you this book. That's not the point of this video. I'm not telling anybody to buy this book or anything like that. I published the book because I wanted to see how good AI could actually write a book. So I could easily have just made the AI write the book and then, read it on the computer, but I don't like that. I wanted a physical copy that I could actually sit there and read. So, the best way to do that is to write the book and then publish it on Amazon. Once your book is published on Amazon, they'll do what's called print on demand. So, that's what I did. And as soon as it was available, I ordered my book. That way I could read it. So let me just go ahead and show you. So yeah, this is my book. It's on Amazon, um, and it's a lit RPG book. So it's like basically like a video game book. I'm not going to really talk about what the book's about and all that. That's not really the point of this video. Again, I'm not trying to sell this book. I'm just trying to show you that like if you've ever had a really good idea for a book, but you just don't have like maybe the time or anything like that. I'm not saying that you're going to make money because, obviously you need people to actually buy the book itself. Um, so you can do this. It's not hard. It took me maybe about a week to write this full book. Now, it's not something where you just go to ChatGPT and you're like, "Hey, write a book for me." You're not going to get anything good. You got to have Cursor, or I mean, not Cursor. Oh, Cursor works too. Or I used Codex, and basically you give it access to your computer and it will build stuff on your computer, and it's owned by ChatGPT. So if you have a ChatGPT subscription, you will automatically have access to Codex. So if you're paying for ChatGPT and you're not using Codex, you're wasting the most useful part of your money because Codex is amazing. You can build pretty much anything with it, honestly, if you have the proper guidance. You don't got to ever write a single line of code. Anyways, that's beside the point. Codex, amazing. So, if you wanted to write a book, you would just open up the Codex, and I'll just show you one of my files here. Sorry, I have a lot of programs that I've been building. Where is it? Okay, so this is the um, file that I was, one of the programs I was working on. And let me see. Sorry, I have too many programs. Uh, yeah, okay, here we go. So I created a template system. So we'll go into here, and I have different categories of books that I could write. And this is mainly just a hobby. Again, I don't really plan to make money from this, but if my book, was good, then it could potentially, So, um, so let's just go into templates. So I have different book types, nonfiction, fiction, series, and all of these are going to be like guidance for the AI. The AI will use these whenever it's writing the book. Now, you don't really got to know much about that. It's really, you don't have to type all that up. Basically, you just have the AI, you tell it, hey, this is what I want. And you have to be very clear. You have to give it, you know, you have to give it better tools to work with. Because if you just say, hey, write this book, it's going to shoot out some very generic garbage. It's going to be very bad. But if you give it the proper guidance, it will create a very good book. Um, so far I'm only about 8 or 9 chapters into the book so far, and it's really good. Like honestly, there's a couple of mistakes here and there. Like I think I've found like 3 or 4 mistakes throughout the first 9 chapters. Um, Pretty small. A lot of people might not even notice it, but it is there. So it's not absolutely perfect, but I did not proofread it before printing it because I don't like reading on the computer. I can't get into it. I got to have a book in my hand for me to actually get into the story and be able to truly like enjoy it. So that's why I did it like I did. So anyways, we got these different templates. So of whatever kind of book you would write, like you would just go here and you'd be like, I want to create a system to create a book. I want to have multiple MD files. That way we can stay on track. One for, like an author persona. That way, your book stays consistent. You want to have one to where it can, um, well, let me just show you instead of trying to explain it all. So, the project brief. So basically, this is a template system. Every time I start a new project, it's going to instantly copy all of these files into the new project. The project brief is going to be, pretty much exactly what it says. It's going to be a brief outline of what the story is. After that, there's going to be the rules. These are like just the overall big picture. That way, the AI doesn't get lost in the sauce. You know, Continuity tracker, so that basically ensures that you're progressing properly. The scene chapter planner that goes through each and every chapter and gives like a short summary of what's going to take place during that chapter. This is where it logs things to where like it catches, oh, I reused the same um, scene across 2 different chapters. So it'll log that and it'll make sure that that doesn't happen anymore. And then, the rest is pretty much self-explanatory. So basically that's all I did. I came in here, spent maybe about 30 minutes to an hour setting up the system. That way I could actually write the book or to begin the book. Once the system is in place, you say start chapter 1. And actually, we can go into here real quick. My computer's not cooperating. I'm sorry. I got too much stuff running. No, that doesn't ever happen. It's because I'm recording. Okay, so we're gonna go right into here, and we're going to say to write us a sad, let's say action adventure. And that's the great thing is once you have the system in place, it'll literally just do everything. I really wanted to show you it in action, but it's not really. My computer is kind of maxed out at the moment. My hard drive is pretty much completely full because of all the programs that I've been building and stuff. Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm in chapter 1. I don't know why I said phase 1. Alright, but so now it's just going to go through. It'll probably take it maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes at the most. It's going to just copy all the files, and then it might possibly ask me what I want the book to be about, or it might just start writing it on. So, and basically what we're going to do here is I'm going to just let this go, and I'm sorry if this video turns out to be a little long, but I think this is super cool. And maybe somebody has an idea in their head that they've been wanting to get out, and they just don't know where to begin. Maybe filling in like the smaller details is kind of a problem. Like for me, that's kind of my problem. I have really good big pictures, but then when it comes down into filling in, a 800-page book with all these little details, that's where I just kind of lose that traction. So if I give it my big picture, it can turn my big picture into a story, and that's what's really awesome about this. So hopefully this helps someone. And the thing is this will apply to many other things. It's not just like, oh, I can only use this for a book. This specific scaffolding that I have here, yes, it's only good for books, and also I made one for potential like YouTube stories and stuff. I'm not actually going to do that, but it is something that I thought about. Maybe in the future. I have been looking for something to do with the YouTube channel, and to get my channel back up and going. I feel like I've been quiet long enough, and it's about time for me to start grinding again. So yeah, so we should be about done here in defining what phase 1 means. Yeah, see, I confused it by saying phase 1 instead of chapter 1, but that's okay. So now if we go into here and we go into action, so it's probably already going to be filling out these documents. Okay, it has not begun filling out the documents just yet, but that's because I haven't given it a chance. Oh, here it is. Now it's there. The Iron Flood. And we'll just do a project brief here real quick. Okay, it has not filled it out yet. All it done was set up the template, which is great. That's perfect. So we'll give it just another moment here. My computer's just running a little bit slow because of lack of memory, recording, running too many programs, etc., etc. Normally this would have been done already. And you guys know me, like none of my videos have ever had editing. And while I will agree, videos with editing save a lot of time, cut out a bunch of the quiet time, like kind of like the last 5 minutes. But I'm just not good at editing. I don't really have the patience to sit there and do all the cropping and add in effects or this or that. So hopefully I can retain your guys' attention long enough to get my point across. If not, I fully understand. Um, but I do believe that maybe this will help somebody. So, and the thing is my book could potentially, you know, it could potentially sell. I'm not expecting it to. I'm not going to try to push it. But if I really, really wanted to, I could, buy ads, start to go on like forums and stuff and posting about it. I could make a YouTube video talking about the actual book instead of talking about how I made the book. That's what this video is about. It's about how to make the book, how to use AI as a tool to make the things that you want, not the contents of the book. So, wow, this is taking significantly longer than it should. that would usually be done instantly. My pizza's getting cold. I wanted to wait until after the video to eat my pizza, but I guess I should have been eating it while I could have been sitting here, y'all watching me chew. Okay. It's only on number 2 out of, how long have we been live here? 15 minutes? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm really sorry. Unfortunately, this is going to be a longer video. It's going to be like at least 30 minutes. Um, because this is not how it's supposed. You see how it's jumping up a couple at a time? Normally that'll just instantly be done, like within seconds. So yeah. Anyways, what else can we? Well, while we're doing that, I'll just show you some other stuff that I got going. You know, like AI is a tool. You know, it gets a lot of haters, but like I don't agree with the whole point of AI taking jobs, but at the same time, it is kind of the world. Like, so I've made a video game. The video game was very complex and actually really good, other than the fact that I didn't know how to get the assets for the game. So like, instead of a character walking around the game, it was just a ball. So I wasn't able to figure that out. So I kind of scrapped that. I've made multiple different chat bots, um, a Polymarket trading bot. It trades on paper on Polymarket. I've made a crypto trading bot, multiple crypto trading bots. Um, Pretty much just a bunch of random stuff that I've built. I've never really tried to make money with any of this stuff. It's just mainly just kind of like for fun, just to see what I can do with the AI. And it's actually really crazy on the things that you can accomplish if you just have an idea and you try to make that idea work. Okay, so we're finally done here. Okay, so here's the awesome thing. So now that everything's in place, from this point on, the only thing I have to do is write proceed until the book's done. It'll go through, it'll do one chapter at a time, and you just press proceed. That's it. Just proceed. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm probably going to read you this chapter just so you can kind of see like what the book actually is able to do. Oh, this is going to take a minute though. It's going. It's probably going to go to around like, I don't know, 500 maybe, 400. Well, while we're waiting on that, we can go back over here to the Iron Flood, and we'll go to the project brief again. And now you can see we have a title, the Iron Flood, my name, action adventure. So I really don't want to read. Okay, Shelf Promise. A disgraced river runner must escort a stolen flood key across a drowned frontier before a warlord opens the old locks and buries 3 trade cities under engineered disaster. It targets the lane between fast action and grounded consequence, using pursuit, salvage, flood infrastructure, and expedition pressure to create a harsh adventure novel with real logistics and no decorative spectacle. Alright, so once this is done, okay, it's nearly done. But yeah, this is basically what you guys are seeing me do, aside from me yapping, is exactly the process of making a book, building a program, you know, any of those things. This is what it looks like. You just tell it what you want, give it rules, because if you just tell it what you want with no rules, it's just going to spit you out some crap. But if you give it a really defined set of rules, it can do really awesome things. And the great thing is you don't actually even have to write those rules. You tell the AI in advance before you begin to write a rule system based off of the things that your idea needs. So you just say, here's my idea, write a rule system, make sure we stay on track, make sure that this and this and this happens. And then the AI will go through, build a rule system, and then once that rule system's in place, you just say begin. It begins the work, and then every so often it'll check in and be like, okay, this is done. Now we need to do this. And then you just say proceed. That's it. And okay, and you can see right here, it wrote the chapter, and then it updated the continuity tracker so that it knows kind of where it left off. So now I'm not going to read the whole chapter here, but we'll just read like a few sentences here. The first bell of the raid rang through smoke. Cale Rusk heard it from halfway down the South Flood docks with a coil of wet rope over one shoulder and a ledger slate tucked under his arm. The sound cut across the usual basin noise, clean enough to freeze every man on the wharf for the length of a single breath. Not a tide ball, not a shift bell. I said ball. Iron on iron, hard and panicked, from the Talon reached Breakwater Tower. Then the second bell came. After that, the town broke. Somebody above the dock line shouted, "East wall!" Another voice shouted, "No locks!" Then the southern night filled with running boots and the thud of drop crates, and the strange ugly pause when working people realized they no longer knew what counted as the most valuable thing in front of them. Cale dropped the ledger slate onto a stack of oilskin bundles before the first man slammed into him. "Move!" the man yelled. Cale moved because that was what kept bones intact on crowded docks even before raids started. He shifted left, let the panic runner stumble past, and looked through the rigging shadows toward the breakwater corridor. Fire was already climbing there. Not the broad orange wash of kitchens or store sheds, sharper, more directed. Light pushed through the smoke in narrow, angry pulses as if individual streets were being opened up and fed one by one. The old brass lock teeth above the sorry, I haven't read out loud in a long time. The old brass lock teeth above the lower channel caught the firelight and flashed dull red along their edges. Beyond them, black water shouldered against the retaining walls, thick with slit and slow current. Anyways, I'm not going to keep reading because I'm just looking silly right now. Um, like I can't read, but I'm pretty much a speed reader, and I don't read out loud anyway. That's beside the point. That's what it looks like, and so from there, you can see. Now I just say proceed, and that's it. All the way until the rest of the book is done, and then after that, I would say go through and check for errors. Once there's no errors, I would say go through and make sure that we're not reusing the same phrases repeatedly. You'll go through and make sure. After that, you just go to Amazon and publish your book. That's it. It's really easy. And you don't pay any extra for this program right here. If you pay for ChatGPT, you have access to this. You just go to ChatGPT. You just go to the ChatGPT website and you click on Codex. Right here. Boom. You just click that. Download it. You're done. So, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get this uploaded. Sorry the video took so long. Kind of having a little bit of computer issues, a little bit unorganized, but yeah, hopefully this will help somebody. So, yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys soon.